'cause you're the remedy. Your voice when you speak, the recipe. Food for the soul, the recipe is all I need. Hey.
All right, we're sitting on the little, I always say this, like I'm on the fucking casting couch. Sitting together this evening.
Not the
with Ronnie Kendrick, the fabulous Ronnie Kendrick. This, I should say, the smooth as silk voice Ronnie Kendrick.
I try.
Singer-songwriter, vocalist. You
Yes.
make all your own music, right?
Yeah, I do, with the help of like in my community, like my friends here in Orange County and stuff like that I've grown up with. Like we, thankfully, you know, most of them are creatives or artists or musicians, and I'm blessed for that because, you know, we're able to come together and do what we love to do. We have something in common to do, which is music, and it all comes, it's all from authenticity. It's all real, and I'm just thankful for that. Like I'm thankful for being in a community where I'm from, and then people I've known my whole life, basically like my family or brothers. And we just come together and make some music. So
take me back a little bit. Take me back to like little Ronnie. Like, how did the music come about? Where'd you grow up? Like, how'd that come about?
Little Ronnie, man. Well, little Ronnie was a demon.
Oh,
okay,
a little spicy.
Yeah, a little. You know when they say demon time, like he was demon time all the time. No.
Oh dear, were you the second born? Are you the second child?
I was the middle child.
Oh, I called it.
I was the middle child. I have a lot of brothers. So basically, backstory, like a little history of me.
Please go.
I have two older brothers. So I have my biological parents, my mom and dad, and there's four of us. Wait, actually, one, two. Wait, no. With my biological mom and dad, it's four of us, but I lost two brothers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they passed. So I have one brother that passed away in 2008, and then I had a brother I didn't meet. He passed away when he was a baby. He was actually the brother before me.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, and the way I think of it as, and I told my mom this too, and she also, my mom's very intuitive and like spiritual, so like I told her, like, you know, his death was sort of like, in hindsight, more of a blessing because there wouldn't be me. You know, I came right after him. Yeah. You know, my parents would have not tried again if he didn't pass, basically. So I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm thankful you're gone, man. No. No, he knows. But I think it's more of a blessing that, you know, in hindsight, like if it wasn't for that incident, you know, I wouldn't be around. So, but I have two older brothers, three older brothers actually, and then I have a bunch of half siblings with like my dad. So my dad was a little, you know, a little play back in the day. So he had a bunch of baby mamas.
Oh dear, was it like, hey, this is your baby?
Yeah,
really? Oh no,
no, legit. No, like yeah, like he'd be like, and you know, like all that's just put behind us. But back then, you know, I really held it against him.
Oh dear.
Even though I didn't really grow up with him. I grew up with my stepdad. Okay. And he was my dad. He passed away 2020.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, but he
we're gonna get all misty on the show, Ronnie.
I'm
5 minutes in and I'm already drying up tears. What is
there's
going
a
on?
positive ending to it all, and I feel like that when I get into that later, that all just contributes to my music and my art and how I see how the perspectives I have on life and how I see life now, and the obstacles I've gone through in life to be the person I am.
I was gonna say, you seem like this little ball of light. Like honestly, you have this just very, I want to say intoxicating or like addictive personality. You know, it's very good, very very good.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. I think I'm blessed that like through whatever I went through growing up and all the trauma I've been through, I still remain to be myself through it all, real. Yeah. And I think everyone on my support system, my family especially, my brothers, my mom, everybody, friends that were there for me through the years. And if it wasn't for that, a lot of what I went through would have been, I don't know how I would have turned out if it wasn't for their support, but I greatly appreciate all of them for that. So but yeah, anyways, yeah, Lil Ronnie. But Lil Ronnie, yeah. So when it comes to art and music, I grew up in a musical household.
Okay.
So it started with my grandpa, and then it basically stems down to like his kids, which are my mom's brothers and sisters, and my mom. They all played keys growing up.
Oh, nice. So
okay. My grandpa was amazing at piano. I didn't actually know this till like later on in life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he didn't share that with you when you were little?
Because I wasn't really close to my grandpa. Like he would come like maybe every 5 years. He lived in the Philippines.
Okay.
So, but both my grandparents are in the Philippines. So I would mostly see my grandma more because I was closer. But since they were split, he was more just kind of like distant in a way, but he still would try to be around a lot. So he was the key player, and my mom basically inherited that like trait about him, and she played for the church, and she ended up just kind of teaching me and my brothers how to play piano too. Although she got a little impatient, but as
moms do,
yeah.
With the demon seed.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why she got impatient.
No, exactly. So yeah, she literally like. I don't think there was ever a time where she actually like. I mean, there was times where she would sit down with us and teach us, but I think it was a lot of self-learning just because she didn't have that patience. She just never really sat down and taught us.
Yeah.
So our upright piano that was in our living room in Anaheim, where I grew up, was just there. So I would just play around and try to learn songs on my own. And then, and that's how, like, piano, I'm Filipino, so a lot of karaoke in the household, a lot of karaoke.
I love it.
A lot. So my older brother that passed away, he was an aspiring artist too. Aww. So he was a vocalist, and he played a little piano, but he was always the one that just had the house bumping because he was just always singing or
I love it.
Having music play having music playing all around the house throughout the day, and whenever he'd sing karaoke, I was very shy, surprisingly enough, like to sing. I actually I was a dancer. I actually liked dancing more than singing. I didn't realize I could sing till I was probably 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say like I didn't think I had like an actual talent. I would sing, but I would be like, am I actually good at this? Like,
what sparked that change? What was like, okay, I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna pursue this. I'm gonna actually do this.
So when my brother passed away, actually no. Let's back up a little bit. During the time when he'd do like the karaoke stuff, like I would hop in, sing. But there was one time I don't know where we were coming from. We were driving home somewhere, and it was just me and him. And he turns up the radio, and Rihanna's playing. I think it's Umbrella. Right?
Nice.
Yeah. And he starts singing. He's like, he looks my way, and he's like, come on, sing it. And I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I don't want to sing. I'm cool. He's like, he literally like just big brothers me. He's just like, sing right now. You could sing. And I'm just like, no. And then I'm like, okay, fine. So I start singing. He's like, yeah, there you go. You can't sing. And that from that moment, like hearing him say like, just kind of getting that validation from him, like that I have this talent. Like, I think from then on, like that's when I started actually taking singing more seriously.
Yeah.
And
you probably really valued his opinion, being an older brother.
Yeah.
Like he already did all that stuff. You're like, all right, well, he said I can sing. So.
Yeah. Being someone I really looked up to growing up, just like from doing karaoke and like seeing him on the stage, his stage presence, just him being like this. He was a superstar in my eyes growing up. And yeah, and it was someone I wanted to be at that time, and like carry on this talent. When he passed away, actually, I kind of stopped singing for a while because it reminded me too much of him, and I didn't want to remind my mom too much of him, because when I sang, and I looked just like him, my mom, everyone would tell me that you're like his little mini me growing up. And that kind of, when he passed away, that made me realize, like, okay, I don't want to make people feel sad, so I'm just gonna not sing and just like do my own thing. And I kind of went into a shell. And that's when I started getting more into like sports. That's where like I would basically, that would be an outlet for like my aggression growing up. Would be like sports and just competing and kind of just shoving all that trauma back, because I was just so like, I didn't know how to navigate my emotions growing up, and it would all go to just sports and just kind of
Getting in trouble. Yes. So
causing
a ruckus.
Yeah, causing a ruckus, and I was gonna get there. Yes, but
we know where that's going.
Yeah, you know the demon time. The demon time.
Yeah.
I told you the demon time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just looking back at it, like I'm like, I've gone through so much. I've basically just like.
But that's tough on a kid. How old were you
when he passed away? 2008. So I was 12.
Yeah, that's huge for a kid. That's really huge. So, I mean, he was a huge. How far apart were you guys? How old was he?
5 years.
Oh, jeez, he was only 17.
Yeah, 2008. 30. He'd be 35 right now.
That is so hard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for you trying to navigate those waters,
yeah.
I mean, it had to have been harder. Your mom probably didn't know how to approach that.
Yeah.
So then, of course, you're like, oh, how can I stuff this down? So that was probably your only outlet.
Exactly.
So then how did you come full circle to getting back to music?
Getting back to music, it's when I picked up a ukulele. Again.
Really?
Yeah, I picked up a ukulele.
Out of all the instruments?
Yeah, out of all the instruments.
Okay, I need the ukulele story.
Yeah, and so...
I have to change gears because I'm trying again, Ronnie.
Yeah, it was, like, you know, I would sing in the shower and everything, but through that time and, you know, sort of sing, but I just didn't want to display it in public or in front of my family members. I would just keep it hidden and sing to myself or in the shower. And but I think when I started picking up instruments again, the ukulele was like the first instrument I started picking up on again, and I just started playing, and that's due to like, it was like a wave, because like at the time a lot, like there was this ukulele wave, and people in school and like my closest friends were.
I missed that wave. It's okay.
Do you remember that wave?
No, I don't.
Yeah, there was a wave of ukuleles, like, yeah, like people.
Although everyone I know, every one of my band members owns a ukulele.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why do you have a ukulele in your trunk? They're like, oh, everybody has it. I'm like, okay, it's weird.
I guarantee you, if you ask him, like,
but
there
probably because.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am 29.
Oh, see, yep, it's that. Okay, you guys were the ukulele generation.
Yeah, the ukulele generation. We were just we like, some reason.
That's crazy.
All these kids started playing ukulele.
What artist was like jamming on a ukulele?
Well, there was a Filipino artist.
Okay.
On YouTube. His name is Jeremy Passion. He actually like was like the pioneers of YouTube for like covers, and his cover of, I think it was "So Sick" by Neo.
Really?
Blew up.
Okay.
Look it up later.
We're gonna link it.
Yeah,
link it below.
If you want to do it today. We can link it today, and
link it below.
There's a whole history on it. There's a whole history on that. Yeah, and he pioneered the whole YouTube cover world. Yeah, he was
awesome.
one of the people that pioneered it, and it was because he played the ukulele, he played the guitar, played piano, very all around talented musician. So at the time, like, you know, all these Asian kids were just like playing the ukulele, like, you know,
like, my turn, B.
Yeah, and so I rode with the Asian wave, and like, and no pun intended.
Right now.
I rode the Asian typhoon.
Oh dear. I'm not in control.
It's me, guys. It's me. Cancel me if anything.
I did not make the Asian pun. Just so we all know,
She didn't do it. But yes, that pioneered the whole ukulele wave. And at the time, it was like 2011, 2012. Like I think my junior year of high school, and then started singing and started playing and started learning songs again. And shout out to my friends that like basically put it in my hands and were like, yo, you need to start singing.
Cheers to your friends.
They wanted that for me.
Good.
A lot of them really encouraged me to sing, but I was very like insecure about it. I was shy about it. And I had friends that just wanted me to be my authentic self and be that artist I'm meant to be. So yeah, that's how that's coming full circle. That's how I got back into music basically. So
nice.
Yeah.
So then you started writing and everything like that.
Yeah. So in terms of like creating, this is so funny, but I started actually writing earlier, around that time actually, like junior, sophomore year, and it was the days when like Call of Duty was like, Call of Duty's still big, but you remember Call of Duty? Like
yeah,
it's still big, but back then, like around the 2010s,
dude, people
like
were like,
everyone was fiending for COD.
Yeah.
Everyone. And so like I had a group of friends on COD, and
COD.
Yeah, COD.
Oh dear.
Dear. Or on the Xbox. And I had a group of friends. It was probably like maybe 3 or 4 of us, maybe more. And we would have rap battles.
I love it. You're just on
our chat,
like on your thing, like
literally
people rap battle.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, did you shoot that guy? Sweet, and I'm gonna jam a melody in your ear.
Exactly. So
That's
we would literally have our phones with like YouTube on. Yeah, put it. So whoever's not playing, whoever died and is just sitting in the spectator room, they call it the spectator room, where it's like, it's kind of like purgatory, but for people that are engaged. Like
Loserville?
Loserville, the Gulag. Yeah, the Gulag. So whoever in Spectatorville, like, they would have the mic, like, just put it, or whoever was the DJ, put the mic against, like, the microphone.
Oh, I love
and then
this.
Put it against the microphone, and then they would just play, like, some type of cypher beat. Like cypher instrumental.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then we'd just make a round. It's like, all right, who's first?
So you're trying to play and you're trying to rap.
Yeah, trying to rap. So long story short, that's how I started getting into writing.
I love it.
It wasn't even singing, it was rapping.
Hey.
Yeah. But I mean, it's all intertwined. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Music, but
I love it. I love it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think that is the most interesting, like, how did you get? Well, I started rapping on Call of Duty. That is epic. That's epic,
Yeah.
Ronnie. I want to hear this on like Behind the Music. Well, I don't even know if they have VH1 anymore, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to see that on an interview down the road for sure.
VH1.
You're like,
so
by the way, I know, right? I'm showing my age. I'm all Behind the Music.
I was on the tail end of that.
I know you're sitting there saying the years you graduated high school. I'm like, oh my god. I've been on stage for like 12 years by then. I'm like, oh dear. So going back to like your songwriting process after we got off of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
How did it go from there? Like, were you like, oh shit, I need to start writing stuff on the piano. How did it all come together to where, because I've seen the Ronnie now. It's not Call of Duty. It's much more progressive than that. So how did we get there?
Okay. So yeah. So after Call of Duty, so let's fast forward 2 years, because like between that, I was just kind of just practicing and learning how to play the ukulele and the guitar.
Okay.
Around that time, so that's when I actually first picked up. Yeah, I first picked up guitar like in 2011, 2012, and I just started learning. And I was more just learning and going on YouTube, searching up a trendy song that is out at the time, and I would just learn the song, and it would be like something simple, like simple 4-chord progression. But that was at that time. But like fast forward to probably second year college, I'd say, is when I started really taking writing seriously, and it was because of a good old friend of mine named John, and his producer name is Tommy Mello. And that's when he started getting into producing.
Nice.
He that was like the baby stages of producing, and he pretty much got me involved in that time, you know. And he just called me over, be like, hey, like, I'm starting to produce and I have no clue what I'm doing, but I want come over and let's play some music, you know, let's make something. And there was a lot of hurdles and a lot of learning curves and uphill battles with it. But that's when I started writing, is when he just like make a simple beat and just shoot it on over. Like, he would text it to me and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is sick. You made this? What? I was like, that's my boy. And yeah, and that's when I started just kind of, the creative boost just started flowing through me at the time, just when I would hear the beat. And I usually like to have a beat first when I write. That's how my creative writing starts, is when a beat is like presented and then I write over it. And so that's kind of like my process, was like a beat first and then kind of feel it out, kind of make a melody out of it and start writing. And that's how it is, you know.
Nice. So when it comes to like weaving in a theme or weaving in a topic or messages, what type of things do you typically explore in your songs? It's really moment by moment basis, you know, like whatever I'm feeling at the moment. And if I'm talking to a special someone, or if I'm feeling stressed, it'd be like an outlet for me, and I'd write about why, you know, what's causing me to be stressed right now. What are my stressors, and what are certain things, you know, that I'm going through right now that I can basically regurgitate on a piece of paper or like on my laptop, you know. So it's all moment by moment basis. Like, that's what I love about writing, is because, you know, you could feel this way one day and you could feel this way another day, and it's just art, you know. It's as long as you're consistent, but it's not consistent at the same time the way you're feeling. But as long as you're just writing and just doing it daily, you know, you just get better at it and better at it. And so that's basically my process. So is there a particular song or excuse me, is there a particular, I'm like a frog in there somewhere, a particularly meaningful or personal song you have written?
Yeah, a lot. So
I need a box of tissues in here today, just so we know.
Oh man. Well, can I be honest? Like,
no. Oh, you start now?
Oh yeah. No, I've been trying to be honest the whole time. Actually, I've been a phony this whole time.
It's the ukulele.
It's the ukulele.
I knew it.
No, but a lot. Okay, I'm gonna get into that later. But I'd say, like, in terms of, because lately I've been writing more things about, I'd say, like, what I'm more intentional about in life right now, you know, like what I'm growing up, evolving, things of that nature. That's things that, so like, we'll get into that later, but that's all going to be part of the premise of my EP that I'm working on. Yeah. And it's been a long time. I haven't dropped an EP since 2021. So it's been about 3 years now. And, so yeah, backpedal. What I was writing before, it was a lot about heartbreak and love, which is good things to write about. But absolutely right. But I'm going more into like the growth of myself, finding love in myself, because that's where it all starts. You know,
huge.
Like those are big things for me. Like the growth, the evolution, like why I'm here. Why I am the person.
Really deep.
Yeah. Why
I'm here.
Yeah. Why I'm here right now. You know, like all these things are. It's all linear in a way where it's like it's all meant to happen, and you don't just run into situations just because it's a coincidence. I don't believe anything is a coincidence, to be honest.
No.
Everything's supposed to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I 100% believe that.
But sorry, I go on like tangents.
No, you know what? You're an artist though. Honestly, like it's all like branches. You could be over here 1 minute, and then next minute we're talking about Call of Duty. So
Right. But
no, but it's 100% true. I mean, like you said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But finding that reason is also like all of our journeys.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Or understanding that journey.
Big.
Or understanding the why, or letting go of understanding the why.
So I'm happy you're like hitting points right now that like were big in my last EP, and then it was about a heartbreak, and the EP is called oh my god, I'm forgetting. Is this 29?
He's forgotten the name of his album, ladies and gentlemen.
It's called
That's okay.
It's called Got Feels ? And basically I wrote it about someone that I was in love with, because for anyone that knows me, love was never my thing in terms of like relationship wise, and obviously that I feel like a lot of that, and that's something I'm working on with myself right now, because I feel like for you to love someone, obviously you have to love yourself
100%.
as much or even more than your partner. More. You got to love yourself more. You got to be whole with yourself. You got to let yourself evolve, and throughout that time find ways in loving yourself, because it's just, that's, if you can't be with someone if you're not fully true to yourself.
No, because you're looking for them to fulfill something in yourself that you need to fill. Exactly. And if that's your constant battle, then it's never going to win. And they're never going to tell you what you need to hear. Right. They're never going to be that piece of your puzzle. Right. Then when you're full, you can give. Right. Because if you're empty, you're definitely not going to be able to give. Exactly. And they're going to feel that. Mm-hmm. So, welcome back to Dr. Phil.
I'm happy you understand that, because there's people out here. I mean, I'm not judging. It's perspective, or it's an opinion, and people have their right, and
everyone's different.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. And so I feel, or people would say like, oh, like, no, you don't have to completely love yourself. That's for someone to fill that void. And it's like, I mean, like,
then that's where it gets, the relationship gets very needy. The relationship, it gets very toxic.
Yes, experience.
And honestly, I'm old as shit, babe. So let me tell you what. No one's going to complete that circle the way that you complete the circle. Exactly. And if you can't go have a meal by yourself, and you can't go on adventures by yourself, I love that. Then there's issues, and maybe a therapist needs to get involved. 100%. Shout out to those people that think that they're okay. You keep doing you, boo, until you figure out that it's not going to work out. Yeah. So, you're doing the work.
The meal by yourself actually hit different for me when you said that.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. And it also, I mean, unfortunately, it comes with age. It comes with experience. It comes with heartbreak. Yeah. You have to have heartbreak. Like you said, it's not coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. You had to have the heartbreak to learn the lesson, to know that your cup has to be filled up. That's huge. That's full circle. Cheers to you, because you've taken that next growth step. And maybe time by yourself made you come to that conclusion. So
a lot of time by myself. Good. And still spending a lot of time for myself. You should. And that's self-care. Until I'm ready. And I try to block out the people who are like, oh bro, like start dating, get married or something, or have kids. Why is
that always the answer? I would love to know why that's always, because a marriage is going to fix it? Yeah. Because a kid's going to fix it? And then you're just still going to be depressed and angry because you're married to some person you don't even like, that doesn't complete you because you don't complete you. The circle is broken.
No, the circle just I did write a song about a couple years ago, actually, I partially produced it, and we made this song in one day. We made this song in maybe 3 hours.
I love that. And that's when it's a song that just needed to go.
Like I said, it regurgitated. Yeah. And it was something that I needed to let out. I needed to verbalize in music. So it's called One Piece, and basically the first line of it goes, Please Don't Come and Save Me, Broken Down and Beat, I Am Not Whole, I Need to Be One Piece. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
that is perfect.
And the song's called One Piece. So, and
I need this. We all need to hear this song. All need to hear this song.
Yeah.
We're gonna link all of your music. You're on the Spotify, correct?
that song's on Spotify,
Okay,
but
good.
everyone's been asking for it to be on Spotify. It's on my reels though for Instagram, so it's on there.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's the one where I'm playing the classical guitar,
Okay.
and then it kind of it pans out to like my friend who does like he's just so talented. Shout out to Sabi. He's actually friends with Daryl too.
Oh
or
yeah,
Nevi.
he was talking about him too. Yeah.
Sabi Sensei. So he is the man. Someone told me one time he's the Asian Kanye.
Okay, I need to see this guy. I need to see it.
But like musician wise, I mean Kanye probably had some musical talents, but musician wise, music theory wise, music intelligence wise, he has it all. So we made that beat. And then we had our other friend AG hop on it too, and it was so fun. I just love those little studio sessions we have, and it's just authentic and real, and we're just vibing, and we're not, because we've all been in studio sessions where it's like, it's just so. It's so fixed in a way where it's like, all right, guys, like once we get in, all right, you're gonna have to get on. You're gonna get on the panels right away. Like it's all business, and no, like we like to vibe first before we create.
Nothing comes out of like a forced session.
Exactly.
You're
but
like,
people work through that. People prefer that, and it's like
I can't do that.
Can't.
No.
Can't.
I think if it's gonna be good music, it's gotta have an emotion, like a feeling, a whole process.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
So
we're working on the new EP.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's that? When do you think you're gonna drop that?
I'm taking my time with it.
That's
honestly.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Can't rush art.
No.
I always hear that one. So, it's going to be a very meaningful one for me. A very, very meaningful one. That's why. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm going to want to drop that like sometime this year, like early this year. However, like none of the songs in it are like not even halfway done yet. But I'm kind of working on. I have like this whole like inventory of songs right now that like I'm trying to see whether it fits in the EP or not, and then whether I want to create something new for the EP. But it's gonna probably be around like 7 songs, I'd say.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's a good amount of songs.
Good amount of songs. So
how do you go about deciding like, okay, which songs you're like, okay, this fits in with what I want to? Do you decide maybe the title of the album or the arrangement of whatever, or you're just like, I'm gonna throw them all in there?
If it fits a story.
I like that.
If it fits the story of the EP, because I honestly like. I haven't dropped music in 2 years, and I plan on dropping singles this upcoming year before I drop the EP. But
that's good. Little teasers.
Yeah, little teasers, little maybe songs that are maybe songs that are part of the EP, and some songs that are probably not part of the EP. But I think mainly I want to just take my time with it and see where it goes, because it's gonna be very meaningful for me. I think I'm just like really taking my time with it. So basically the premise of the EP is called well, I have 2 names for actually I don't want to talk about I don't want to reveal it yet. But basically what it's really gonna be about my support system, my past, and like people that helped me through my traumas. And but also at the same time sort of not preaching, but sort of telling the world like, hey, like don't let your traumas define you though at the same time.
The world needs this right now, honestly.
Yeah.
And I feel like even in my podcast, we always end up touching on how this world is going through so much trauma, and that no one's really talking about it or touching on it. And it's such a huge thing. And I feel like your generation's doing a really good job about harnessing that and really honing in on repairing all of this damage that all these generations of crap have done to people, and how we've got this generational trauma and we need to heal it all. So I'm give you guys kudos for doing the work on that,
Yeah.
because we all need that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like, and trauma runs culturally, trauma runs generationally, trauma runs in different forms. So it runs historically. So I think it's just like all that, you know, did affect me in life, but I'm at a point in my life where like I have to let go. You know, you gotta let go at some point.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta let go of the anger, you gotta let go of the sadness, you gotta let go of all of it, because and I'm not saying this in a way like, oh yeah, like it's gonna happen overnight. No, it's not. You work on these things. You work on these things. You surround yourself with a support system if you have it, you know. But if you don't, there's people out there that will support you.
100%,
You know,
yeah.
you know. So, you know, my day job, I deal with a lot of folks that deal with a lot of trauma. And
What do you do, Ronnie? Or do you want to share that?
yeah,
Or not?
yeah. My day job, my 9-to-5 job, I service the homeless population
Aw.
in Orange County, and I've been doing So I've been doing that for probably like probably about 5 years now.
So in what capacity? What do you do with that?
So I help folks get connected to resources and
Okay.
mental health, whether it be mental health, substance use resources, if they need assistance with like documentation, or getting them assistance with like income if they need income, or like job resources, just any sort of resources they need to help them get back into the community.
Yeah.
But our ultimate goal is to house them, and yeah, that's what we do.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, Ronnie, you're like this big ball of light. I just adore you so much.
And I'm not gonna lie, like it these people can really get on my nerves, but I love them to death. And I yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think it stems too, like you touched on, finding them, mental health resources.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Is we don't have the systems that we used to have back in the day, thanks to a horrible president, way back in the day.
Yeah.
That put the kibosh on all of that.
Absolutely.
So, a lot of these people need that assistance, and it's just not there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do get that assistance, it's only for a certain amount of time, because there's not the funding for it. So you helping them find that resource, that's huge. But I know it's got to be frustrating, because a lot of it is, drug use. And I don't know, but I experienced in Portland, these people, I want to live off the grid, bro. I don't want to be told what to do, or I don't want the help. It's like, cool, well, I don't know what to do for you then. So I can see where the frustrating part gets into it. You have those genuine cases that really want the help. So
absolutely. Yeah,
you've got a huge challenge.
You hit it right on the dot, and but that's where you have to think, like, especially working in like human services or being a humanitarian, like you have to have that mindset where, like, all right, I can't just give up,
Yeah.
You gotta keep, and obviously you gotta keep your cup full, at the same time while helping folks.
So I hope you're taking a lot of self-care, a lot of taking yourself out to dates, to the movies, or to dinner.
Absolutely.
Writing lots of music. Yeah, you've had
absolutely.
a lot of inspiration. I mean, honestly.
No, but that all just stems people judge. There's people out here that will be like, okay, this person's just a crackhead, but there's layers to that,
Oh, yeah.
There people are like onions, like you gotta peel it, continue to peel it.
It's so funny. My friend last week, she was like, I always think, I want to peel back the layers. I just want to know more.
You got to know more. There's always a story.
You never know
no
where
one
that
just
person came from.
I told my brother this the other day, or like last week. I'm like, it's not black and white. It's not. And people, there's a story behind why people become addicted or face mental health challenges in life. There's a story behind it, and
because they don't set out being like, I'd like to be a crackhead,
right?
Like that's not their goal in life,
right?
And maybe there are those cases.
There are
99% are not going to be like that.
No, absolutely, and and I hear stories every day.
Yeah,
I hear stories every day. And like it puts everything in perspective. You know, I can't just be that. I can't have that mindset where it's like, oh, like, why don't they just go get a job? Or why can't they just pick themselves up by their bootstraps? Like, you know?
Yeah,
like,
not everybody's built that way.
You're addicted to cigarettes. Like, can you quit cigarettes?
Yeah.
Tomorrow? Would you be able to?
That little thing, your little vape that they're sucking on?
Can you stop vaping tomorrow?
No.
If you can do that, if that's challenging for you, imagine what they're going through. Yeah. People that are hooked 100%. To fentanyl, heroin.
After like years.
Years
like
of being
generational trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, and yeah. So, but I actually, for maybe like a year and a half, I took a break from human services. And I went traveling. Yeah. I lived in another country for a little bit. And
nice. Where'd you go?
The Philippines. I went out.
Did you go visit your grandparents?
I visit my whole family. That too is going to be very influential for my EP too, because it just put perspective into my life about just not taking things for granted, because
our time is so short, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to circle back.
Go ahead.
I should have brought a box of tissues. I want to know what your mom's reaction was when you started singing. See, I'm already crying, and you haven't even said anything yet. But I still want to hear about it.
My mom's not the typical Asian mom. Like, she shows flashes of it, but in terms of being like hard on me, but like, I mean, she just was happy I was singing, and she, like, she didn't really like display it emotionally too much, but she was just like, all right, yeah, you're singing again, cool. Like, and from then on, like, she's always just been supportive with it. Yeah.
Did it kind of set your mind at ease to be like, oh, okay, this is a good thing, and this isn't going to be seen as like a traumatic thing that I'm singing?
Yeah, no, it did ease my mind that, my mom was okay with me, because I think during that time too, she didn't mind me singing. The time when I kind of went on my hiatus with singing, I think that was more my thought process, internalizing like, oh, I think this would remind her too much of my brother, but I think she wanted it for me, and she wanted something that would remind her of my brother, because like that was her favorite. So he was the oldest. We
are the favorites.
The eldest are the favorites, and let's be real. And I don't take that. I'm always like, Mom, I don't hold it against you. Like, but her answer is always like, I love you all differently. That's always the answer.
Oh, that's a mom.
Yeah.
That's okay, because we do. We all love our kids differently.
But there is a certain level of, there is a hierarchy in the sibling system.
Well, okay, so it's always the first, because that's who made you a mom.
Yeah.
That's who brought out that in you. Like, it broke through that DNA and it made you a mom.
Right.
So that always has a little bit more. But we still love all the children, okay?
Differently.
All right. So what has been your biggest challenge you face as far as like music in your music career?
As far as music, I think just getting through the hurdle of like, I'm still dealing with my like insecurities with music, like am I good enough? Like, am I good enough for this? I ask myself this all the time. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because like I've dealt with people that like told me I wasn't good enough or in the past, and I have to get. I'm still working on that now. I'm like telling me, I'm really trying to give myself that self-validation where it's like, I'm good enough. Like, I can do this, but I think like now, I think I'm getting through that hurdle, getting through that challenge right now, because I think all of it was because I didn't have a direction with my music at the time. It was more just like, like I'm gonna do this and that, which is fine.
Finding your style.
We're finding my style.
Yeah.
You know, which is fine. It's all about finding yourself. It's like your music is you.
It is.
You know,
it's 100%.
Your music, your art is you. I'm gonna just say art because whether it be music, whether it be dancing, everything is all that is you.
It's a little piece of your soul.
It's a little piece of your soul, or maybe a big piece of your soul.
Yeah.
It's all you can think about. You know, and so yeah, so it's like I'm also finding myself, and I'm finding my musical direction simultaneously. So that's the challenge right now, but it's like I'm finding this. Yeah. I'm finding it now. I know the direction I want to go to.
So then on that tip, how do you see your music evolving
I want to
changing and growing in the future?
I think right now it's really geared towards, you know, setting a positive atmosphere, and you know, like I help folks physically and in person, and I want to apply that to my music too. I just want to spread, you know, I want to be real and authentic, tell my story, because I know my story could be similar to other people's stories as well. Yeah. Even though all our stories are different, we all have different paths in life, or walks in life, but it could be similar in sort of like how you dealt with it, and you know, and how to deal with it. Like I want to encourage folks that you could get through what you're getting through. You just gotta keep moving. You gotta let some things go. You gotta let the anger go. You gotta let the sadness go. And that's sort of that's basically like what I want to do for music now, is like really set that mindset for people, and along with like the cultural aspect too. I want to involve my culture into it, and people dealing with trauma within art, within my culture too. Yeah. And also there's so many dimensions to it, because, you know, I'm American, but I grew up, you know, very Filipino. And
yeah, you got roots.
Yeah, I have roots, but also there was a time when like I became very Americanized and basically self-internalized hate towards my culture at some point. I wouldn't say hate, maybe just like I was ashamed of it, or because, you know, of racism
or you're out there dealing with
internalized racism.
That don't get your culture and
exactly.
Don't appreciate it.
Internalized racism was a big thing, and but sort of just going back to my country, living there, and seeing, really just being humble. And now like I'm like, I was ashamed to like even speak the language, but now I'm like relearning the language as well, Tagalog, and learning my mom's dialect. She speaks 4 dialects in the Philippines.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, along with English. And actually, sorry, 3 dialects plus English. And so I am fully immersed in like my culture, but also I want to combine that with my lifestyle here in Orange County. I'm a North OC kid, but like till the day I die. So it's like I want to really. I know there's people out there that are on the same boat as me in that aspect too, and I just want to touch upon everyone's hearts, but you know, like, but in a very specific way too. Yeah. So. Yeah.
You're so passionate about it. Like, you speak with passion about it. You have a lot of conviction with it. So it's going to come across in your music. And your music already comes across very... like I told you when I first met you, I could just turn your music on any time, and it's going to change that mood, and it's going to shift, and it's going to give me that positive vibe.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're onto something. I can't wait to hear what your new EP sounds
like. Thank you so much.
So, I could talk about music with you all day, and you made me tear up like several times. What is going on? I appreciate your time so much and coming to share your journey with us, and I cannot wait to see you back on the stage. Please let us know, when is your next show? Do you have something coming up?
Nothing. I just did I've been doing small gigs here and there, just you know, just to keep myself busy and keep the talents up. And just but I think right now I'm really focusing. I've turned down I'm real, like I've turned down a lot of opportunities lately to play live, because I just want to focus on music and like recording and really dive in, you know.
That's really honorable, because a lot of people are just, they jump at every opportunity. And for you, you're like, no, I'm really gonna hone in on my craft.
I'm gonna be real right now. I'm not an opportunist. Like, I'm not, like, you know, if something big, even if Kanye was like, hey, you want to hop on my track, like, I'd still think about it, you know.
Yeah,
I still would think about it, because I'm like, I hold my, there's so much value to my art, you know, and I hold it dearly, and it has to be something meaningful to me, you
integrity is huge, and integrity is what's missing a lot in music these days. I think
100%.
People just want to pump out whatever, whenever, and they're not thinking about the outcome, or what it's, you know, is it going to have longevity? Is it going to be something in the future that you're going to look back and go, oh, this is really something I should have put out, or is it going to be something like, oh, I just put out some crap, and that is your legacy, and you're thinking about that, and that's huge. Not a lot of people are doing that, especially a younger generation of music.
Spot on.
So,
spot on. Shout out to my friend Drew. Actually, he's a fellow artist friend of mine, but also a longtime friend. But he basically said, like, everything you do in terms of art is for you, for no one else. You know?
And if you keep that mentality, you're gonna stick true to yourself.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. And it's so good to see you again. And I can't wait to see you in the future. We'll put links to all your socials. I'm sure you got the TikTok and the Instagram and all that good stuff. So we'll make sure and put that up there. But
thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, Ronnie, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
And take care of you. We'll see you soon.
Tell the truth, I look better over you. I can't lose. When I'm with